All right, first question here comes via, I guess, XB Mode X, is how you say that name. What would it take to trade for OBJ or Julio Jones? OBJ, I think you could do for a second. Let me just preface that. OBJ has been very good this year, even though Baker Mayfield has struggled to get him the football. I think OBJ is still an elite receiver. I think the problem is not OBJ right now. The problem is Baker in that offense. But I think he would be less than Julio. And I say that because the Browns and the city of Cleveland are not that in love with OBJ. Atlanta is obsessed with Julio Jones. And the only way you're going to pry Julio Jones away from Atlanta is if Atlanta wins the trade. If Atlanta wins the trade. Atlanta's got to win the trade. That way they can go to their fans who will be heartbroken that they lost Julio and say, hey, I know we lost Julio, but we got a first-round draft pick and a third-round draft pick. So I think Julio Jones is going to cost multiple picks. I think you get OBJ for a second, and Cleveland would take that right now. You got to remember, OBJ is on a 4-2 Cleveland Brown team, whereas, of course, Julio Jones on a 1-5 Falcon team. OG, that one boss, says, trade for Kenny Golladay. Of course, Golladay sitting there in Detroit playing Julio Jones this week. I believe they are in Atlanta for that game. Yeah, I think that they are. It'll depend on what happens. I mean, you can only take away so many of Stafford's star players, right? And the problem with Detroit right now is that they're in a very tough division with, of course, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers both being very good. So maybe they are sellers. Maybe they want to completely rebuild new quarterback in Detroit. So sure, but I don't know if Golladay is going to be the answer to all of the 49ers' problems. Who do you think would win the division right now? Still early. You play Seattle twice, and when all those 49er fans start hating me saying, oh, you don't no, listen, you can beat Seattle twice and still win this division. So if you think that they will, type SF down below. If not, though, if you're watching those Seahawks games, I've watched a couple of them. Man, Russell Wilson is unbelievable. I mean, he's been good for years, but he's playing at an elite level right now. And so I can't. Man, Seattle, it's tough. I'll wait until I see them play. Okay, 2 weeks away. They're going to play. We'll figure it out then. Okay, make sure you guys go ahead and get your bets in for this weekend's matchup, or maybe tonight's matchup, Eagles and Giants. Going to bet on that game or a Niner game or any game. Go to chessports.com/49bet. Use our promo code Niners125. Get 125% deposit bonus whenever you first sign up, meaning you put $100 down. It turns into $225 with our friends over there at BetUS. So again, with the line currently sitting as the Niners are 2-point underdogs, over under 43.5. To me, that's a very winnable bet right now for 49er fans because again, not that hot on this Patriot team. I'm not a big Cam Newton guy. I think the Niners can win this game. I think that they win it big, not big, but I think that they win it 24-21. So I would go ahead and bet. Daniel says, sign Cameron Wake. He's too old. Yeah, I thought about it. He's just too old. Cameron Wake is not the player that you think of whenever you think of Cameron Wake in Miami. He was really good there, but not the same player. No, I would skip that. Not a chance. Or hey, how do we say his name? Our cap space right now, what do you think we could sign with the amount we have? So they have enough cap space to go out and sign basically anybody at the trade deadline. Julio Jones would only cost you $13 to $15 million per year. It's the future that they worry about here because you got to re-sign people in 2021. So they have cap space. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. It's like 13, 14. It's between $15 and $20 million. Don't quote me on that. They have enough, though. I know that. I did my research today. They have enough to go ahead and sign people. So don't worry about cap space in terms of that. It's the future cap space that you would worry about with Julio Jones because he has 3 years left on a mega deal. Rohit says, should the 49ers trade Dee Ford and exonerate the Jets for a second and give second round for Joey Bosa? Okay. So first off, you can't trade Dee Ford because he's injured, right? Injured player, not going to happen. So I would love to trade Dee Ford, but he's hurt. He's hurt for the next couple of weeks. We talked about that at the top of the show. And the fact that Joey Bosa just signed a long-term deal with the Chargers tells you that the Chargers are not looking to go ahead and trade Joey Bosa. So no, none of this is possible. Even though to me, your two tradable pieces right now are Alexander and Dee Ford. But with Alexander and Dee Ford both hurt, not possible. Do you think Hasty is a mini Marshawn? No, he's not a mini Marshawn. I mean, and that's he looks like a mini Marshawn. He's built like a mini Marshawn. It's way too early to know if he runs like a mini Marshawn. And I've seen more of JaMycal Hasty than anybody who covers San Francisco because I covered JaMycal Hasty during his entire career at Baylor. I called his games. I was in person. I interviewed him. He looks the part. He doesn't run the part. He's a lot smaller than a Marshawn Lynch. He's a lot thinner than a Marshawn Lynch. Very big upper or lower body. I mean, massive legs. He can churn those things and really get some nice runs. But a mini Marshawn, to me, is a little bit too high of praise. But I'm excited to see him play on Sunday. I think they're going to give him the ball more because he's done well in a very limited capacity. Dania Gahith. I think that's how you say your last name. It's fun pronouncing them, but man, I butcher your guys' names. McKinnon or Hasty will get a starting job when Mostert is out. It's McKinnon. McKinnon's your starter right now, 100%. So McKinnon will stay the starter for the foreseeable future because, again, they're worried about fumbling with JaMychal Hasty. A problem at Baylor, a problem with late-round running backs who are rookies. They just don't want him to cough the ball up and kill his confidence, so they're being very cautious right now with JaMychal Hasty. If you guys want more of these videos, we do them every Thursday. Make sure you guys are subscribed here on the 49ers Report by hitting that bigger subscribe button down below. YouTube.com/49ers TV is the place to do it. And while we're at it, follow me on Twitter. It's this little thing that says @Thomas Mott. That's my Twitter handle. It's not just there for fun. My mom didn't name me @Thomas Mott or @Real Thomas Mott. It's my Twitter handle. So go ahead and follow me right there. It's just down below me, right over here. Somewhere over here. Okay. He says, predictions on the record, end of the season, make playoffs. Where do we stand? 3-3 right now. It's going to be tough to make the postseason, but I think that they do as a 7th or 6th seed. That means they probably get to 9 wins. And 9 wins is possible. The issue is, over the next 4 weeks, you've got to win 3 of the next 4 games, which is brutal. Because 3 of the next 4 games, Patriots, Seahawks, Packers, Saints, they got to somehow find a way to win 3. At worst, they got to win 2. You can lose the Packer and Seattle game. You've got to win on Sunday against the Patriots. You've got to beat the Saints as well, which I think that they can't. Saints aren't that good. What about J.J. Watt? I would be shocked if Houston traded J.J. Watt. You want to talk about a player that has just epitomized the city, has loved the city, and is just tied to Houston is J.J. Watt. I know that they're rumored to be at sellers at the trade deadline. I just don't see it. I do not see them trading J.J. Watt. And if they did, it would cost a fortune. It's too much for me. Too much for me. Way too much. Does Jimmy G go off on the Patriots? I hope so. I mean, this is a team that liked him, and this is a coach in Bill Belichick that loved him. And Bill wanted Jimmy Garoppolo. This has been documented. Bill wanted Jimmy Garoppolo over Tom Brady. That's been well said, and I think everyone in New England knows that. And obviously, Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, vetoed that and then shipped Jimmy Garoppolo to San Francisco. So our loss or our gain is their loss. But still, I don't know if he has a vendetta for New England, but I think he's very curious just to play his old team and is going to be comfortable in Foxborough. Justin says, oh, geez, I have no idea. Fred Warner's new contract, big. It's going to be one of those double digits, 4 or 5 years. They're going to lock him in. He's fantastic. Anytime you watch Sunday Night Football, Chris Collinsworth loves this guy as much as more than I do, probably. I mean, he loves him. And I think this goes right into our next question. Current favorite 49er. Chris Collinsworth would say Fred Warner. And I might agree with that. Fred Warner, it's just fun to watch. He's a great player. He's young. He's selfless. He's just really, really good overall. I also love Raheem Mostert. When Mostert is healthy, he's so just pretty running the football. He just runs so nice. I love Mostert. He's probably my favorite 49er when healthy, but obviously not healthy, so he's not my favorite 49er right now. Next question here comes from Ange Bondi. How do you feel about Javon Kinlaw playing better? And I think a lot of people are not appreciating what he's done because he's not showing up in the stat sheet. He's not getting sacks. But that's not what Javon Kinlaw was brought in to do. He's brought in to be a run stuffer and a threat up the middle, and he's been that. Now we worked on in training camp. You probably did too. He didn't look too good, but he's been a lot better, and I think that he's validated the 14th overall pick. Spades. Trade for a corner. No, I don't think they need to anymore. If Mosley is healthy, as he was this past week, and Barrett keeps playing at a high level, you don't need to. They can hold down the fort until Sherman comes back, and then you might not even need Sherman because of how great Jason Barrett has played. So, no, I wouldn't. Let's see. Do you think Sherman and Mosley should play back corner, BC, and Barrett at nickel? No, I don't think Barrett's I think that they would keep it as it is and then probably move Mosley out of there and play Sherman and Barrett is probably what you'd do on the outside. And hope that K'Wan Williams comes back soon. Hurts us. Do you think we should have kept Buckner over Armstead because Armstead hasn't done anything? I thought about this, but the problem is that Buckner costs a lot more than Armstead. So it's kind of like, do you want to pay him? Armstead has been struggling this year, but the problem is Buckner's been really good with a very good Colts defense. So I don't know what the answer to that is. I do need Armstead to do more, though. He's been bad. He's been very, very bad. Since Garoppolo once played on the Pats, Belichick knows his weaknesses and will put them to use. Yes, no. There are a lot of players that play against their former teams and still win. So, no, I don't think that it's like Garoppolo can only throw left or only throw right. Like, what kind of weakness are we talking about here? Bill's going to have a good game plan. Tough defense. We said Niner offense versus the Patriot defense. But, no, I think that the 49ers win, and I picked them to win. And I don't know what you guys think of as well. Type Y down below for yes. Type N down below for no. I think that they win. I'd be very, very surprised if they lose this game. But, again, they lost to the Dolphins. So, nothing surprised me anymore. Fins up, right? Dolphins. I couldn't believe it. The Dolphins who benched Ryan Fitzpatrick, even though they've been good. I do like Tua, though. Tua time in Miami. Unfortunately, not the Dolphins reporters. We keep going on that.